back to Anthony, who is here in California. Anthony, thank you for getting your phone in order, I hope. How you doing?
Doing well, Hake. Can you hear me better now, man?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. No, I was just curious why he platforms
JLP, that
those
is.
kind of guys. Yeah. And I know you
Why he
said something
platforms
about
who?
just Satanists in general.
What do you mean by platform?
Like, gives attention, gives them, an opportunity for people to, get interested about them. And also he has discussions in a way with them where he doesn't really acknowledge um, the slippery slope. It's like think about it like this. Let's just say, like for the sake of language, let's just say they have guys like that, Brian. They
Brian
open
Werner.
up a Brian Warner. Let's just say they have fake Satanist churches. Is that what you would? How would you label his kind of church from like an actual, Satanist church where they like worship Satan? What would you say? He has a fake Satanist church, or what's the word for that?
I don't even know because it is satanic, regardless of whether they acknowledge Satan or not. Brian Werner was high priest at one point of the Satanic Temple, but then he realized that they're a bunch of liberal SJWs, and he wasn't about that. And so Brian Werner, a former guest on the JLP show in the Fallen State, multiple times between the two, he left that, and I don't know if he has any quote unquote church or whatever, but a lot of the so-called Satanists are atheists like that, and some are very liberal. Some of them are outright social justice warrior, SJW, pro-LGBT, anti-racist, all that evil stuff. A lot of them, probably all of them maybe, are very pro-abortion, killing the babies.
Right.
Now, what do you mean by slippery slope?
I mean, poke holes in this if you think it's weak. Let's just say I'm a fake Christian in the sense that he's a fake Satanist, and I go and I open up a fake church. Obviously, when I open up the church, there's
Speak up for me, man. So you come in through loud and clear. You seem to be talking a little under your breath, and it's not all coming across loud and clear.
Dang it, man. I'm sorry.
No, just speak up louder. Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say I'm a fake Christian and I open up a fake church, right?
Meaning you knowingly don't really believe in Christianity, but you open up okay.
Exactly. Obviously, people that go there, they see the church, they'll be like, "Oh wow, church! I'm a Christian. I'm going to go to church, right?" And they'll go. Over time, what's going to happen is maybe for the sake of congregation, the church will eventually become like a real church. We're going to start doing Bible studies and all these things that the congregation wants to do. Maybe we'll throw in the Eucharist eventually or something like that. You know what I mean? But the idea is...
Because some people will have real intentions.
Exactly, because they don't know that you're... they see it's called a church, right? Let's just say Church of God, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, you have this guy, and he's basically doing the same thing. It's called Church of Satan, whatever they want to call it, right?
Yeah.
You're obviously going to have real Satanists going to that church, and eventually, you don't know what they do, when they're done with church or whatever. But does that make sense? Where I'm coming from? It's that, in a sense, I think that's a slippery slope in the deception of like the atheist Satanist movement.
Oh.
It's like on the surface, we're just atheists, liberals, pro-life, pro-choice.
Right.
And over time, though, you're going to have people that, do blood rituals on their own time and stuff like that.
But abortion is sort of a blood ritual, so...
100%.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter whether they're like, I don't see much difference between an atheist and somebody who really believes in doing rights to the devil. Like, there's no real difference.
I'm with you on that, Hake. So why does just platform these kind of guys? Like, what's the point of giving them attention and not necessarily showing the slippery slope or the type of deception? He just kind of asks them like questions like he would a priest, and he's not like he's kind of, I kind of get the sense that he's deceiving his audience that don't know better, that think, oh, well, you could be an atheist Satanist and not believe in the devil, which I think is the slippery slope. I think Jesse's in a position where he could point out, you're not far from the blood ritual aspect. You're right at the door. You know what I mean?
But didn't you just agree with me that they're both evil? Like, there is no slippery slope. They're both hell.
But
they're both gone.
I agree, but one is deceptive and one is not, right?
No, they're both deceptive. They're both worshiping the father of lies, which is Satan.
Yeah, but they say they're atheists.
Right. Is atheism better than Satanism? Or not as bad as Satanism?
I can't say that, but I know that there's atheists probably won't do witchcraft and things like that, right?
I don't know.
They won't knowingly practice witchcraft.
Is witchcraft better? Is witchcraft worse than just normal atheists who don't get into the witch stuff? Like, is it more dangerous?
I think that you put your finger on it. Yeah, I think it's more dangerous. You're more exposed to evil, and you're inviting it inside of you. Whereas the atheist doesn't necessarily believe, there's evil, but they'll be deceived in going down that path, like the way abortion is, a type of deception of a blood ritual.
Well, I wouldn't advocate for people to get into either atheism or getting into like magic and stuff like that, because they're both evil. They're both deceptive. They're both satanic.
100%.
And it's the same thing with fake Christians. Fake Christians don't tend to lead people to God. They too are deceivers and Satan worshipers, Like, and when I say fake Christians, I don't mean just people who knowingly don't really believe in God, but people who think they believe in God. So so Jesse's for exposing and finding out about all of it. He's not promoting any of it. He's not really promoting any of his guests. He's allowing them to promote their stuff on his show. But platforming is sort of a liberal word, It's sort of a mama word. Where
I know what you mean.
Don't platform fascists. No platform for fascists. They don't want Trump to be on social media. They don't want Christians to be able to say this or that. So that platform word is sort of like a mama. I don't want other people to find out about this. They may agree with it. But other people agreeing with it is not Jesse's responsibility, because he's giving them good interviews. He's asking them great questions. And he's, I don't know if you agree with me, but Jesse is a light in a dark place, like YouTube, very dark place. But he's a light there.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's why he interviews all kinds of people. Like, Jesus is documented as having talked with prostitutes and tax collectors who were very evil people, and even Pharisees. And he talked to them, and that's documented, that's platformed, if you will, in the Bible.
But 100%.
And some people agree with those Pharisees. Some people agree with the Pharisees that Jesus was calling himself God and all kinds of stuff like that, which wasn't what Jesus necessarily was doing. But they agree with the intellectuals and the blind people, the deceived. There's always going to be people who are deceived, but that doesn't mean you close yourself off and not interact with them, if that helps.
I agree 100%. I see what you're saying, Hake, and I mean it's my point is a bit more nuanced. I think the issue I have is Jesse is a light. That's pretty obvious because, I mean, nothing against him. I love the guy. I love you guys, but
Yeah.
he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, you know.
How not?
But he gets the word. But you could tell there's something about him. You know, he is the light because. How could the sharpest tool in the shed, you know, poke so many holes? And you know, he's not the sharpest tool, but he could poke holes in anything. You know, it's
right?
Pretty,
even evolution. And I'm indifferent about the evolution question, but but it's funny.
Interesting.
When I was producer, I would try to get. He likes to talk with people with whom he disagrees. Because people with whom he agrees, that's boring. It's just, we agree, and what is there to talk about? But when you talk with people who disagree, you have something to talk about, and you can discuss and maybe open some eyes.
I get where you're coming from. You know, I'll watch the interview again. You know, I just where I was coming from, Hake, and I get what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
solid. But it's if an audience, where I'm coming from is if someone didn't know any better, they wouldn't be able to distinguish an atheist Satanist from a real, you know, an actual, you know.
Have you met an actual Satanist, or have you been aware of them?
Yeah.
Because most of the Satanists are actually just atheists who just use this stuff to be shocking and be in your face to Christians.
I know, man. I know, but
which is maybe more evil than the ones who actually really believe in Satan.
You know, you're saying they're more evil?
Perhaps.
Well, I think they're just in the process of being deceived. You know, they're doing all the rote work. You know, they're doing all the movement. And before long, you know, they'll make the connection to the spirit. They'll go beyond the physical movement and they'll make the connection to, you know, the
you seem to believe in the devil like that. You seem to believe in Satanism as though it's this scary thing that's not, as though all people aren't possessed and as though all people aren't truly evil.
Well,
you think that there's like a special evil? You said that
I think there's an intentional type.
Intentional type of evil?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's people that, you know, they do blood rituals, and you know, I'm not advocating this, but I'm telling you what I've experienced, what I've seen people do.
What's the difference between a blood ritual and an abortion?
Which
one is worse?
Well, if we want to be nuanced, I could say, you know, an abortion that's risking the life of a mother, and you know that's probably not as bad as someone who could have a child, be healthy, have a healthy child, but purposely sacrifices it to Satan.
But that's what abortion is.
So you think that the intention of, you know, someone who wants to have a child but needs an abortion to save her life is to sacrifice their child to Satan? Do you think that's their intention?
Not if it's to save their life, life of the mother. But most abortions are not anywhere near to save their life.
You're right.
So then why are you going to that? Abortion is selfish.
Yeah,
99.9% of the time, I would guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure on the stats. But
which is devil worship, selfish. Same thing.
Yeah, but they don't know they're doing it.
Yeah, they do. They know they're being selfish. That's why they get mad at you when you point it out.
They don't know they're sacrificing it to Satan.
So what?
They're just on their baby.
How does that make it better?
Because intention matters.
No, it doesn't. Selfish intention is satanic. So God's not going to send you to just as much hell or whatever because you didn't mean it, because you didn't purposely mean it to be to Satan? You're not in hell already?
I'm not going to speak on behalf.
Isn't it somebody? That's what I mean. Is you believe in Satan, or when I say you believe in Satan, it's like you have this extra fear of intentionally worshiping in your mind this devil versus normal everyday people who are every bit as evil sinners worshiping the devil.
Yeah, it's
whether they realize it or not.
Yeah, it's because I've had life experience. You know, I've gone down certain paths.
Oh, yeah, but
know, but I've come away from that, and I've kind of, so I kind of, it's. I get what you're saying, but there's, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Hey, guys,
and you weren't deceived by this guy, were you? Or were you tempted by this guy to go back into it?
Oh no, not at all. But I was thinking if me 10 years ago, if I was watching this, I didn't believe, I didn't know any better. I would watch a show like that, and I wouldn't see the danger of being a satanic atheist.
How do you know?
Because Jesse didn't really highlight any.
So you thought you thought the Satanist was more intriguing than Jesse in your imagination? You think that you would find the Satanist more intriguing and appealing than Jesse?
I don't know how that relates to what I said, but
well, you said that you might go down that path.
No, I said if I didn't know any better, I wouldn't know the difference.
But what's happening is you're living in your imagination, thinking that other people might fall for it because you already fell for it, but you didn't fall for it because of seeing Jesse. So you're imagining other people might fall for it because of seeing Jesse talk to somebody.
So you think it's possible someone would watch that and not fall for it?
A whole lot of people watched it and didn't fall for Satan. They're falling for Satan every day in their minds without any influence by that Satanist.
Right.
You're playing mama with other people, imagining that other people are going to be influenced, is what I'm saying. Like the liberal word of platforming, Like the communists don't want people to listen to Ben Shapiro or Jesse Lee Peterson or Hake or Trump because Trump changes people's minds. And so you're scared that other people might.
No, I think you're in your imagination.
No, you're in your imagination.
Okay.
Oh wait, how am I in my imagination about Trump?
No, you're just. You're in your imagination about what other people would deduce in the same way that I'm in my imagination about what other people would deduce.
What? No, I'm saying that's exactly what the liberals say. That they say that Ben Shapiro radicalizes people. He's a gateway to the white supremacists. That's what they say. I'm not in my imagination about that.
But that's delusional, though. I mean, of course.
No, it's not. No, it's not. A whole lot of people used to be liberals, and then they listened to Ben Shapiro, and then they listened to Jordan Peterson, and then they started listening to the radical whites, and then they went full-blown pro-white.
So,
a lot of people used to be libertarian or Democrat, and then they went full-blown pro-white. So people do fall for that. I've talked to them. Yes. You know who the crying Nazi is? There's a guy called the Crying Nazi. He was smeared as the Crying Nazi. Christopher Cantwell. I talked to him on my show years ago before this stuff, or right after it happened, after the Charlottesville thing. He was a normal libertarian. And then he got radicalized. He got radicalized by the media talking about Trayvon Martin as though he was this innocent child.
Oh.
And so he went from libertarian to that. And a lot of people were like, I talked to one guy who was pro-Hillary Clinton. He voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. And now he's calling, a few months ago, he called American Anchor Baby's Jewish guest who came to church, the oppressor. So he's like this anti-Jew, pro-white guy. So there's people are going to go down their evil path regardless of JLP. You don't have to play mama with other people's things, you know? You're like the Pharisees who are like, Jesus talked to the sinners.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Because you came out of it, but you still have like a fear of it, I think. A fear of it, and I don't think that you really acknowledge how evil normie evil is. You know what I mean by normie evil?
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. That's a slippery slope. Yeah. No, I think I get your point.
It's like Jesus called the people who were listening to him. How many of you, when your son asks for a piece of bread, would give him a rock? Or ask him for a stick, you give him a snake? You being evil, he called them evil, know how to give good gifts to your children. How much more does your Father know how to give good gifts to you? He called the people who were listening to him evil. So evil is more than just, and those people that weren't openly worshiping Satan or knowingly worshiping Satan, you know? Right. So evil is far deeper than just intentionally sacrificing a baby to the devil.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree, Hake. I mean, you highlight a good point about my mama perspective. I'll tell you. So, and I am in my imagination.
You have a great voice for an ex-Satanist. Well, I don't know if you were a Satanist. I'm just saying.
No, I just know.
You went down a certain path that you don't have to get into. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So my mama mentality. I have a little brother, and he's, he has lifestyle choices. Are contrary. But I introduced him to Jesse's show a while ago.
Yeah.
And he's been watching it, and so I'm like, I of course I watch JLP all the time, and I was just in my imagination about what my brother would deduce, not knowing better with his influence. I'm arguing a certain way, which you pointed out. There's normie evil, which is just as evil as witchcraft evil. Now, you made that pretty clear, and it took me a few seconds, but I get where you're coming from. So, no, you're right. I was being mama about it, and it just because
I follow your meaning.
Yeah. All right, Hake.
I'm glad you asked the question, because a lot of people might wonder about that, or think that, or start to accuse even Jesse of
right.
of something that's not even real,
100%. No, I appreciate the way you push back, keeping it real, my man.
Cool, man.
I appreciate that, and I'll let you get to the callers, sir. You guys are the best.
Great call, Anthony. Appreciate you. Call me again.
Take care, guys.
You as well. Bye.